back to the JP Podcast, everybody. This is episode 17. And today's episode, it's going to be a little different. It's that new thing, that flashy thing that's been around for a while. It's called peptides. But let me just jump off with this first. First, I'm not on peptides right now. I've never taken peptides, but I'm not going to say I'll never touch them one day. Because for me, I'm open-minded on the aspects of what peptides are. I'm curious and I'm not anti-science. So in this episode, we're going to be going everything of what I learned, what I've researched, what I think, and just my opinion. You might not agree, but hey, here we go. But I'm also not that dude who jumps on the newest things, the newest trends, just because it's trending. I like to do more research-based stuff of like, what does it actually do? What are the side effects, or if there are any side effects, how do I prevent them? So this episode is not me promoting peptides. It's not me, you know, telling peptides are bad, or me pretending I'm a doctor, or me fear mongering of peptides in general. It's just a conversation I want to have with everybody of what I believe, what I've looked up, what I've researched, and how it can be beneficial for people, and the usages in the correct ways, in the correct units, the correct measurements of how to use them for your body. But before we get on, let's get on to it. So segment 1. Yes, it's the peptide takeover. So you've been probably scrolling on your Instagram, social media platforms, TikTok, whatever it is, YouTube now, but you can't escape this topic right now. The gym. Talking about peptides. TikTok. Talking about peptides. People who don't even know what protein is, what they're talking about? That's right, peptides. Random people at the gym, you hear, you eavesdrop on conversations. What are they talking about? Peptides. You go to, one-stop nutrition, smoothie shops, protein shops, vitamin shops. What are they all talking about? Peptides. But the crazy part, half the people discussing them can't even explain what they truly are. You hear all the hype ones like BPC 157, TB 500, Retta, CJC, and all those ones, but they don't know what they're talking about most of the times. But what everyone wants is they don't want to do the real results. They don't want to do the slow-paced progression. They want faster results, quicker healing, instant fat loss, and overnight muscle growth. And that's why peptides blew up, because in some cases it did do those things. It helped with faster results, quicker healing, fat loss was going down quicker than when they were on a strict diet, and overnight, supposedly muscle growth was happening. But these all represent shortcuts. Yes, shortcuts. You're putting in the work. Yes, you're shooting up or taking oral pills of peptides, and yes, you're still doing the work. Yeah, you still are putting in the amount of effort that you would be in, but it's a faster process. It's shortcuts because you're taking some kind of enhancements to get to those results. I'm not bashing them. It's just that a lot of times now you see people just putting in things without realizing how much they're putting in their bodies and doing the measurements incorrectly, and then we don't know the side effects of if you overdo it, what happens? What are the results? What are not the results? Is it just a waste of money if you put too much in your system? Does it go out? Does it stay in? Or what happens? Like, I'm still trying to figure that out on myself. I don't have everything figured out. I don't have everything known. I just am telling you what I know from what I've seen. And we live in a culture where we are addicted to shortcuts. We want to do things in a shorter way, a faster way. We call it more efficient, but it's more of just get it done quicker so we can do other things. And you already know that this is the new thing, the new trend, the spreading, but it's not so new. It's been around for a while, but now it's becoming overpopulated, overhyped of peptides. How they can help with fat loss, healing injuries, overnight muscles, all those. But what are peptides really? This is segment two. So just a quick explanation. Peptides are what we call short chains of amino acids that act as signals in your body. You see, different peptides have different messages or different firing pins to our signals into our body. Some are they recover faster, improving sleep, increasing the appetite control, boosting the growth hormonal signals, helps skin and anti-aging, and speeding up healing process with injuries that we had in the past. That's it. You see, peptides they're not no magical. They're not magical. They're not steroids. Not even demons. They're just signals firing to your brains with small chains of amino acids that are sending signals to certain groups of our bodies that the peptides will in fact help with. So segment three, that was a shorter one, but here we go, the hype list. So basically, here I'm going to talk about some of the peptides everyone knows. Like everyone knows. Like you be going around your gym, and you're probably gonna hear this freaking 10 times now. But first is BPC 157, which helps with injury healing hype. TB 500, it's with recovery and inflammation. CJC 1295, ipamorelin, is that GH boosting. Semaglutide tirzepatide. Sorry if I butcher these, but that's weight loss. Uh, Melatonin 2, it's that tanning plus side effects, I guess, but I don't know. And then GHKCU, which was skin and hair. Some of these have, potential. I'm not saying they all don't, or I'm not saying they all do, but some of them are overhyped. And some need, more research. But they're everywhere now. Like I've seen a lot of my followers or people I follow take BPC 157, TB 500 for they call it the Wolverine pack of recovery inflammation as well as healing old injuries. And why they call it the Wolverine pack? Wolverine, Marvel, no DC, Marvel, DC, Marvel. You know, instant healing. That's what it is. So the BPC 157, TB 500 shots or even oral supplements are supposed to help with inflammation, healing injuries that you have created for your body, small muscle tears. The other ones, I'm not quite sure. I'm not too familiar with, but I think GHKCU is more of like that. It's becoming more of that skin and hair of like anti-aging, of like keeping your skin, instead of elasticity, keeping it elastic instead of sagging. Melatonin, it's melon, but that one seems a little sketch of tanning, like you're putting pigment in your body, but I'm like, I'll do more research on that, but like it sounds just a little sketch of like, what are you gonna turn orange like an Oompa Loompa, or what is it more of like a natural good glow, or is it like self tanner, like you're gonna get that dark and then will it go out and fade a little bit? Don't know. Segment four is my personal position, which was going to be updated with some of truths. So here's exactly where I stand. See, I'm not on peptides. I've never taken any peptides, but I'm not claiming I never will. I feel like at one point in my life, I probably will dabble into some peptides just for my own personal use of healing. Because when I see some of them, they do have things that I would love to use, would love to try for some injuries that I've created or some faster recovery, but I still will push myself when I train. See, but I'm not rushing. I'm not desperate, and I'm not influenced by the trends. Well, the last one's a story, a lie. Like, everyone wants to hop on the new things. Like, yes, I sometimes get in that headspace of, oh, new thing, new trend. Let's see how it goes. Let's buy the product. Let's try it out. But with like peptides, it's just I want to know as much research because you're getting closer. You're using insulin needles and you're poking yourself, or you can do the oral. But I feel like the better results are with injections. And I don't want to go there yet. Because if you get that close, I feel you get closer to, not being scared to try the things with injection type medications or injection type enhancements, which I don't want to do yet. I'm just trying to be patient of just look at everything, look at the facts, look at the results of other people's case studies of what's working, what's not working, and why I'm not on them today. One, again, I want long-term research, not just hype. I want to learn more about what's the side effects in the next 5 years. Is there any side effects if you take different peptides, different stacks? Do they cause health issues that will run you not yet, but will they hit you like a wall later? Two, I'm progressing naturally. Like, I'm still only 26, and I know I haven't hit my peak yet because my coach has me doing a new thing for chest, and if I was plateauing, if I was weak, I wouldn't be able to like be doing what I'm doing now. I'm not trying to brag, but like I hit 255 on flat bench. It's probably the first time that I've actually hit that without it being too much of a struggle. And now I'm potentially like upgrading to, or I'm on the right track to getting to 265, even to 275, probably. We'll see though. But I don't need to change what's already working right now. Because I take 2 days off, just to like fully recover my body. Because I just kill my body. I train to failure. I train for actual results, not just going to the gym, just talking. Like some of the people in my gym, it's kind of frustrating, but I love it because they're there. Like no, I love that they're there. They're working out, yapping up a storm, but they could be somewhere else. They could be doing stuff that they shouldn't be doing, or they could be drinking a glass of wine in the morning or, like whatever it is, doing drugs, but they're at the gym and they're talking with their, gym girls, gym pals, gym friends, and just, but I just love that they're there. But it does get frustrating, but, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some, but as long as they're in the gym trying to somewhat get healthy, get fit, it's okay. Three, I want my foundation to be perfect. So this is more like my faith. Like I'm trying to implement faith more into my podcast is that if my foundation isn't fully set, I'm already leading myself to failure, or I'm already leading myself down that path that's not the correct way. Because if my foundation isn't fully set in stone, then it's not going to work out. So my sleep, food, training, discipline. See, if those aren't dialed in, those peptides, I feel like they won't magically fix anything. They won't help me, they'll give me the results I want to see. I know that for a fact. But if the other things, the main things, diet, sleep, food, training, if those aren't 110% like firstly committed in my foundation, then the peptides are more of a shortcut. I want them to be used in a way that I'm doing all the right things, but the peptides help me a little bit more in advance in enhancing my physique. Four, purity in the peptide world is inconsistent. Like you see different videos and the peptides they take. One of them says the measurement of X and Y Z amount. Another says the complete opposite of you can take as much as you want. And when they say take as much as you want, it's like take as much as you want, but remember, those vials are expensive. They're not cheap. Peptides are not cheap. I looked at some like FDA third party approved websites of peptides, the injection ones, the vials. Holy crap. Like one vial, I don't know if it's like 10 units, 20 units, whatever it is, like the small vials, it's like $450 for one. And it's usually probably for someone who regularly does take peptides or someone who's trying to like get into it, they probably don't know how to measure and they do it and then they probably put too much in or put too little in and then their vial, is a waste. But right now, I feel like we need more data. We need more like facts of what people need to do more research of what they're putting in their body. Like, don't be a sheep. Follow. Don't follow people. Would you really follow someone into like a pit of lava? Probably not. Would you follow someone going down a rabbit hole? Probably not. You gotta stick up for yourself and you gotta think for yourself of do your research, find out if this is what you want, and find out if this is something that you want to take, but without having those like backhand thoughts of is this gonna work? Is this gonna be okay? Five, I do not like being dependent on anything. See, if I ever use peptides in the future, it'll just be a tool. It'll just be a tool, not a crutch. So if you heard any of these ones, I would really, yes, these are why I'm not on today. It's just that the research is not there. I'm still progressing naturally. My foundation has to be perfect first, has to be solid. Peptides are inconsistent in the world right now, and five is just I don't want to rely on something. If I rely on peptides, for example, for this episode, it just I start to lose myself in discipline, and I start to lose the tool of my body as my foundation, and not as a crutch of injecting or taking oral supplements of peptides just to like move along, like sleepwalking, I guess. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I'm not dependent on anything in my body. Everything comes purely out of it's a tool and that's it. It'll help me improve, but it's not something that I need to regulate of if I don't take BPC 157 TB 500, it's gonna ruin my, my physique or my intentions of what I'm doing what I love to do is fitness. It's not gonna be like that. So segment 5, the hype versus the reality. See, peptides get treated like some kind of miracle solution. You know, you know what I'm talking about. But the truth is, some of them work, some don't. Some are just promising, some are hopeful, some are hopeless, some are risky, some need way more studying. But the thing is, almost most people asking about peptides, they haven't even mastered the basics of fitness, nutrition, or even their lifestyle. Yes, I said that, and I'll say it again. Most people asking about peptides, they don't have it figured out. They haven't figured out their fitness, their nutrition, or even their lifestyle changes to make the difference slightly of then using some sort of peptides to benefit instead of using it as a crutch or as a backup or being dependent on it, which we should not be dependent on them. But most people don't need peptides. What they do need is more discipline. Straight facts. Segment 6. It's a faith based segment. So this is like the foundations before the shortcuts. So this is where I want to get more into bringing my faith into more episodes now than I ever will. Because, like I said, in my previous episode, it was faith. But again, I want to incorporate faith for me, for my own purpose. Because this is the JP podcast. It's the lifestyle I have. If my faith is important to me, but I have friends again who are not religious, but they believe in some kind of higher being, and we don't butt heads. Like I know, believers, non-believers can't get along. But that's totally wrong. We can get along. We just got to put that aside of, yes, you don't believe. I don't, I believe. But if our intentions are the same, if we have the same intentions of just being pure, being sick and like get rid of the evil in this world, we are the same. We're still human. We're still imperfect people. We're not perfect at all. God created all of us, and it's amazing. But a lot of people nowadays are like, "Oh, you're not a Christian. Get out of my face," or "You're a Christian. why do you believe in God? Or all like those like the what if questions, like what if God, like who is God? How are you like how do you know he's real? Show me the facts. Like for me, I can't. It's just a feeling of like I know cuz the you're not going to believe but the miracles I've seen in my life of things that I've done, things that I've said, and things that I've needed to, obey. He's talked to me. It's weird for people who don't believe, but like he has literally spoken to me, and not like this, but like cues of like I've heard his voice, I've heard God's voice, I've heard the Holy Spirit, and like it's like with random things. If I see a billboard, or if I listen to like the radio station, and all of a sudden like certain words come cut in and out, and it puts like the same word over and over, and I make sure like, am I hearing this correctly? And it's the things I need to hear. Going to church on Sundays too, like most times things I'm not obeying during that week or things I'm like pushing down are things that my pastor or the message that's being told is what I need to hear. And it's amazing. For me, my faith is important. Sorry I got off topic, but here we go. Segment 6, faith-based segment. The foundation before the shortcut. See, this is where I want to pause the science for just a second and talk about something deeper. Something that matters to me personally. Because when we talk about shortcuts, temptations, quick results, and trying to bypass the process, that's the human nature. That's the human side of what it is. And I think about my faith all the time because this topic likes like this comes up about peptides, about things you put in your body. But there's a verse in Proverbs 21:5 I wrote down on my notes is that says Proverbs 21:5. The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty. I know you might not be religious, but here's for my religious people. See, that hits because peptides, like any other shortcut, that represents haste. See, this desire we have to skip the grind, which God intentionally built into our development because shortcuts are just shortcuts, they're just things that are hasteful. But with God intentionally making us, we all start weak, you know, but we keep with the grind, and it's intentionally building up our foundation more and more. Like think of it as a rock or a stone. Our foundation isn't set until we start to chisel out it the correct way of actually doing the work, doing the growth, doing the grind, instead of getting a jackhammer instead of like a hammer and a nail. If you get a jackhammer, metaphorically speaking, that's more of like some kind of shortcut of like a peptide or some kind of enhancement. But again, they're not bad. But this is more just the faith base of we have to do it in the correct ways that are not using it in not the not correct ways. That sounded terrible, but that sounded confusing. But another verse that I wrote down that fits this moment is James 1:4. Let perseverance finish this work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. See, God doesn't waste the slow seasons. He uses them to build character. He uses them to strengthen us mentally and physically. See, he uses them to teach patience. You see, do I believe God is against peptides? I don't know. No, not at all. Because science and faith can absolutely coexist. But I also know this: God does care more about who you become than how fast you get results. God cares more about your discipline than your strengths or your shortcuts. See, God cares more about your heart than your body composition. So yes, peptides. I don't think it's a problem with. But if you start to care more about faster results than what God actually cares about, who you become, or if you care about more shortcuts and discipline, or if you care about your body composition, how you look before your heart, you're doing it in the wrong way. You're not doing it in the ways of the eyes or obeying God's way of. God cares more about who you become. God cares more about your discipline. And God cares more about your heart. So any decision, peptides or anything else, they should start from a place of wisdom, not insecurity. Patience, not impatience. And purpose, not pressure. See, my faith keeps me grounded in that. And that's why I'm not rushing. That's why I'm not hopping on any trends. And that's why I'm okay with the slow, the steady, the consistent road for now. See, faith reminds me if something is for me, God's timing will handle it. I don't need to control anything. I don't need to force anything. But if someone were second seven, if someone were confining peptides or considering peptides, not confining, that was terrible, blooper. But if someone was considering peptides, not saying to do it, because I'm not no doctor. I'm not saying don't, or I'm not saying do it, because I'm not a doctor. But if you're interested or if you're curious, it would be get your blood work first, consult a legit medical professional, fix your basics, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle. Don't chase insecurities. That's the last thing you want to do. You have to understand the risks, not just the benefits. There are side effects with everything because there's not enough research right now. I know for a fact. Know why you want them, or why you're taking them, and don't expect miracles. Don't expect the fast results. Don't expect the fast shortcut of instant gratification of, oh my gosh, I've lost 20 pounds in 2 days. No. Or, oh my gosh, my shoulder has not clicked in 28 hours, 48 hours. None of that. Because peptides are not replacements for lifestyle. What they are additions for people who are already have their lifestyle dialed in. We see social media, segment 8. We see the big rants incoming. But social media pressure. See, we live in a world of instant gratification. I still fall for it sometimes. I'm not big enough. I'm not lean enough. I'm not shredded, or I'm not bulky enough right now because I'm trying to bulk. See, we live for the gratifications like Instagram transformations, instant body hacks, instant comparison, instant dopamine, instant jealousy, instant pressure. Like we see all those, we want gratification for everything. But everyone wants to look like the after photo before the before photo. And the second someone sees a shortcut, oh my gosh, they are on that trend like it's a freaking train. They take that next ride of making it a thing to get it so badly. But nobody sees. They don't see the crash. They don't see the side effects, the dependency to those the long-term consequences, the emotional impact it has. See, social media doesn't show that part. I always say on social media, a lot of people just show the highlight reels. I do it too still, because it's how it is, but I need to switch that up. Like, I gotta be truthful to who I am of taking pre-workout every day. For me, for example, I need to stop. Like, it's not a good thing to do because it's just too much caffeine in my body of the side effects. Sometimes I can't even sleep. I'm like insomnia. I gotta stay up till like 5 a.m. I'm like, why am I up? Oh, that's right, caffeine addiction, dependency to it too. Like, if I don't wake up, don't have it, I'm just addicted to it. I don't think I have addicted personality, but I think it's that dependency of sticking with it for so long that it's second nature now. I need to have it. I need to have it. Because there are long-term consequences. Like, I've heard people heart attacks, heart problems because of the beats that the caffeine does to your body, especially the pre-workouts that I take. It's like 330, 330 milligrams of caffeine. I'm like, dude, that's a lot. And on top of that, energy drinks, but that too, I'm like, I'm having like 700 milligrams of caffeine a day. How is my heart not exploding? So I need to cut back. So I challenge anyone for that instance of social media pressures is that you don't got to show all the good, the glamour, and the razzle dazzle. Show the bad side. If you go on your stories, don't cry. I mean, like, none of that, but like, show a poll, like, who's having a great day? And the ones that respond in the poll that aren't having a great day, because you can see them, DM them saying, what can make your day better? How can I help? Or, you're crushing it. Do whatever it is you need to be done. Bam. Because we're not perfect. We all crash out once in a while. We all have side effects of things that we're going through. We all have that dependency of what we need, but we don't need it. And we have long-term consequences that can happen. And, it's just the emotional impact of things in our life. We're not perfect. And it's okay. We are allowed to feel emotions. We're allowed to feel that way. And it's fine. Segment 9. My prediction. So what I predict in 2026, because it's almost 2026 now. We have 1 month left. Isn't that crazy? But peptides will become even more mainstream with the more research, the more clinical trials, the more marketing brands it has, the more marketing opportunities it creates, the more people misusing them, more people benefiting from them, more people regretting it. It's going to go both ways, for sure. You'll see two different trials, the good and the bad. We always have that. So my approach is I'm gonna observe, learn, wait, and keep focusing on the basics, which is fitness, nutrition, and my lifestyle. If you can get those three things before you hop on peptides, you have a great foundation already set. And if the time comes where peptides make sense for my goals and my health and my lifestyle, then that's when I'll consider it. And if I do consider it, I will let you all know for sure, because I'm just going to be honest. What I do, what I try, I will be honest with all of you. Because I'm not trying to be one of those fake influencers who are saying they don't take it, but clearly their muscle definition or their muscle maturity shows the complete opposite. But I'm not taking it today. Some closing thoughts. So here's the truth that I want people to take from this episode. You do not need peptides to change your life. What you do need is commitment, consistency, patience, your work ethic, faith, if you have faith, purpose, a routine you trust, a body you respect, and a mindset you're building every single day. Those things I just said before you are your foundation. If your foundation is solid, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. And then that's when, if you decide to do anything, you have a foundation you built already set in stone. And peptides for this episode will help with more in a better way. Because shortcuts might speed you up, but they will never replace the parts of the journey God uses to develop you. And that is the real takeaway. All right, y'all. That's episode 17. Peptides, hype, research, faith, discipline, real talk, all of it. If this helped you, please share it. Tag the podcast, drop a rating, all the good stuff. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, don't chase shortcuts, please. Chase the growth. Chase the purpose. And for my religious friends and family, chase who God is shaping you to become. I'll see you all in episode 18.